3 months ago, I posted my first video on YouTube, and since then, my confidence has skyrocketed. In this video today, I want to share what that experience has been like. I'll go over the benefits that are changing my life, some downsides that I did not expect, and why I think you should really consider starting too. Before I posted that first video, I was terrified of putting myself online, but I managed to build up just enough confidence to do it. And the response to that video completely blew me away. It got way more views and comments than I was expecting, and I felt on top of the world. What I really didn't expect though was how quickly this excitement would fade and the feelings that it would be replaced by. We'll get to that later, but for now, let's start with the fun stuff and go over some of the benefits. So there's 5 benefits that I want to go over and talk about. And the first one would be an increase in confidence. Now, obviously, I'm recording this outside as proof of that. I'm trying to prove to myself and to you that I have increased my confidence from starting YouTube. To be honest, I hated the idea of putting myself out there like this and being open to judgment. And that was always something that I was very scared of and very insecure about. I don't like looking weird by holding a camera and recording myself, but I've been able to get past this. So starting YouTube has just increased my confidence from putting myself out there, and the exposure that I'm getting by doing that is just kind of getting rid of this fear slowly. You know, I'm putting myself out there and I'm not getting this negative feedback that I assumed I was gonna get, and rather it's been mostly positive. So that has been a really good thing for me. Another benefit that I would say is my increase in confidence when it comes to my communication skills. Because I'm trying to get better at, or make better videos and be a little bit more coherent and less rambly, I'm watching videos about improving communication skills. I'm trying that, and that's improving my confidence in that sense as well. I would say that these benefits are not only just related to YouTube, but a general increase in confidence all around. So yes, I'm very nervous right now, and I don't like doing this, but still the fact that I'm able to is proof that I have improved my confidence massively since starting YouTube. So benefit number 1, probably the most impactful benefit, is my increase in confidence. It's time to go back inside and back to my safe spot. Back inside, back where it feels a lot safer. Although I did actually kind of enjoy going outside and recording for a little bit, even though I felt like a big weirdo. But anyway, moving on to the rest of the benefits. Benefit number 2 would be improved self-acceptance. Sorry, Dougie, come here. In your bed. Anyway, improved self-acceptance. What I mean by this is I'm just becoming more forgiving on myself and lowering some of those unrealistic standards that I used to set on myself. YouTube is just giving me a good outlet to practice putting something out that isn't fully up to my standards and accepting the fact that it's going to be fine. So I understand my videos aren't good yet, but I keep reassuring myself that if I just keep trying and I keep trying to just make these little improvements with each video, then eventually they will be good and they might even hit my standards. And if they don't, it's better than not starting at all anyway. Another positive part about this improved self-acceptance is it's transferring into other areas of life as well. So if I do something embarrassing or I start something and I'm not as good as I would like to be, I'm just more forgiving on myself and understanding that that's just how it is. Benefit number 3 is that it's fun. Making YouTube videos has given me another hobby to work on. It's something to enjoy day-to-day life. I think, like most of us, I can get caught living for the weekend or living for big events or big parties or social events or whatever, and day-to-day life can get a bit mundane. But with this extra hobby of creating videos, I just find a little bit more excitement in each day. You know, I get through work and I'm excited to go write a script or edit or try and record or something. I just have an extra thing to feel excited about. Benefit number 4 would be an increased feeling of purpose. As I mentioned earlier, I've been so lucky to have some really nice feedback and support that has just made me feel like the content that I'm creating is relatable on some level. This is a great feeling because it just makes me feel more fulfilled and satisfied with what I'm doing. Benefit number 5 would be that I'm consuming a lot more positive content. I want to create videos that are well informed, provide a bit of value, and are authentic. To do this, I obviously have to have a decent idea about what I'm talking about and have applied it in my own life. The topics that I talk about are also all related to self-improvement or self-development. So this is just impacting my life in such a positive way. I'm becoming more knowledgeable or more well-informed about how to be a happier person, and that by itself is probably one of the biggest benefits that I've had since starting. So those are some of the great benefits that I've noticed so far. But unfortunately, my experience with YouTube hasn't been all positive. Creating these videos and putting myself out there to be judged has let one of my biggest insecurities come to light. That's my need for validation and my obsession with positive feedback. Because that first video just completely outperformed my expectations, I now had a pretty unrealistic expectation of how my future videos should perform. And they all performed significantly worse, with most getting 0 views at the most, honestly, maybe 2 views or something. So definitely a big drop off. And this was, I guess, pretty upsetting at some level. Although it's expected because the videos weren't good, I still just was craving that positive validation. I began obsessing over the analytics. I was checking dozens of times a day to see if the video had just 1 extra view, which is obviously not healthy at all. Alongside this obsession with the analytics, I also started comparing myself to others that had started YouTube around a similar time as I had, and were making content that I thought was on a similar quality and were getting thousands of views. There was some videos that I saw that were just like what I'm doing now, just talking, and they were getting hundreds of thousands of views, and I was copying 2. So this made me question myself and doubt that I was even capable of making something that was meaningful or enjoyable. So that has definitely been the least enjoyable part of YouTube. But there is an upside to it. So because I'm constantly being forced to face that insecurity and that obsession with validation, I'm also able to start trying to let a bit of that go. In the past month or so, I've gotten so much better with it, and this has all been done by just trying to shift my focus from the outcome and rather just try and focus on the process of creating a video and enjoying everything that comes along with that, and just trying to improve 1 video at a time. So this has been a positive experience looking back. I've been able to grow in maturity in such a short amount of time. And I know that if I hadn't have started YouTube, I wouldn't have been able to face that. Now, as you can probably tell, I am really happy that I said, fuck it, and I gave YouTube a go. Even my downsides have had positive elements to it. I'm sure that some of you watching have also considered giving YouTube a go in the past. And if you're still not convinced, then hear me out. There's the potential for all of the benefits that I mentioned, plus any that are going to be specific to you. And even just the confidence that you'll get or the enjoyment of a new hobby make it worth it by themselves. There's also not really a lot of good reasons not to. Like many others, I avoided the idea of starting because I was afraid of the judgment that I thought would come my way. But in my experience so far, there hasn't been any negative judgment. All of the feedback that I've gotten has been positive, with some constructive criticism here and there, which is also positive. But if you're afraid of being negatively judged, let's say you have critical friends or family, or you don't want your coworkers to find out or something like that, then just keep it a secret. Okay, that is the end of my rambling for now. And if you've made it this far, then thank you so much for watching.